spend a couple minutes, you guys, just unpacking a little bit more the S's of supportive and sensitive because I don't know, I'm a woman, but it's my hunch that it is really hard to get vulnerable with each other. And that guy, that you were talking about, Matt, who came and shared about his depression and shared about the various things and cried in front of you, it surprised you at first. So how do you build that authenticity? How do you jump that hurdle if you're a guy who's saying, well, I do get together with a few of my friends, but we just can't jump that hurdle. We just constantly talk about sports and that's
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, if I could jump in here, Matt, I heard you say something earlier, and I'm guessing you could riff on this for a bit. You talked about asking good questions. And if you ever just go to a sports bar and you watch a group of guys hanging out around the table, and you could secretly put a microphone there at the table, probably 90% of the conversations or more that you would hear would not have questions in them. It would be one guy saying what he knows and making his opinion, and then the next guy saying what he knows and rendering an opinion, and then they argue about their opinions a little bit, and then the third guy comes in and says, well, you guys didn't even consider this, and now I'm going to give you my idea about the thing. And I know I am very guilty. And I don't know if this is a guy thing or a human thing. I think it's more socialized guys than gals, but maybe not. Um, but I know that I tend to want to be a teller, not an asker. And this dynamic of asking for Paul Tournier wrote a little book long ago called To Understand Each Other. And he said the main reason people don't understand each other is because they don't determine to understand each other. And the way that you
Hmm.
come to understand another human being is not to tell them stuff and then wait for their responses. It's to ask them things that you're curious about and to do that in a way that suspends judgment. So they'll keep telling you things. And that's the only way you can understand another human being. Because what we do, again, is we hear the answer. And if it's not the one we want, then we try to convince them that our answer is better. And guess what? If everybody was just like me, then I would be unnecessary.
That's so good, Jim. I love that idea. You model that so well. And you've also coached me and others to do things like that well. When you came to our Friday morning group, you've been there multiple times. You've provided coaching and modeling. I even remember you role played a conversation in front of us with a couple of us. And I think it's I think that we need to practice and get coaching on how to do some of these things because to your point, what we get socialized to do is what you described, Jim, where it's, we try to one up each other or just give our opinion rather than really try to dive deep into another person's experience. The other thing also that we've done in our community that I think is crucial is to declare our the ground rules of our community. And that can sometimes borderline on maybe feeling over engineered or, overly rigid, but we found it to be really helpful. We have a guy who's been a part of our community for years who wrote down what he thought were the guiding principles of our community. And it was around the things that Jim just talked about, authentically sharing versus trying to one up or give your opinion, asking questions to genuinely understand someone else, not to try to fix them or rescue them, confidentiality. I mean, all of being authentic in what we're saying versus putting on a mask. We had to write these things down and we regularly review those as a community because we have to remind ourselves because I just like everybody else, as much as I value this stuff, I'm as quick as anybody else to go back to pretending, to go back to like proving myself, indexing on my achievements and the things that I can, do on my own power versus really open myself up in empathy and authenticity.